Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Supernatural Eye. I'm your host, Francesca Garcia, better known as Supernatural Eye. And I'm really excited for this episode 4. It's going to be an out-of-state investigation at the very haunted Tahoe Biltmore Hotel and Casino that is located in Lake Tahoe in Nevada. And sadly, it no longer exists, but we'll be discussing it. So in this episode, will be very much live. Trust me, it'll be very much live. On top of that, for the post-interview segment, stay tuned, hold on, because trust me, you don't want to miss out. We're going to be introducing celebrity guest Patti Negri. That's right, celebrity guest Patti Negri. I'm very excited because everybody knows I am such a huge fan of Patti Negri. I watched her, from Ghost Adventures and all the paranormal shows in the industry, and she's just amazing. And it's just literally her name stands for the Good Witch of Hollywood. And she will be on the show later on with Mike Delcoro. He will be interviewing her. On top of that, you'll see some clips with Eric and I investigating with Patti Negri representing War Party. And she's just amazing. So we'll get to that in a second, but trust me, you don't want to miss out on the post-interview. On top of that, we're going to be introducing Paravibes, which Erica and Carri are amazing. They're lovely, and we investigate with them at the Tahoe Biltmore. That's when we actually met them. And they're just amazing. So stay tuned. Trust me, the post-interview segment is going to be very fire, extremely fire. I'm sure y'all are wondering why I'm wearing this hat, and to be honest, it's a little bit chilly in Florida, but it's not so much because of that. I wore this hat actually at the Tahoe Biltmore because it was extremely cold, and this, Floridians, we can't hang in cold weather. So Patti Negri, actually I had this beanie for a long time, and I used to rock it out too in like cold weather investigations or whatever. But I wore it for Tahoe Biltmore, and Patti Negri, the queen, commented, when I first met her actually, I love your beanie. And I was very excited. So I was like, oh my God, she said she loved my beanie. And then after that, wore it for I don't know, probably the whole entire trip, and maybe afterwards, even if it was hot, because I was just, admired and just happy as hell that I got commented by, Patti Negri on that. So yeah, I'm a nerd anyways. So that's why I'm wearing it even for this. Don't judge. Moving forward, you can see I'm a fan. We'll talk about Patti in a second, or more into depth about it, or how we met. I'm going to briefly talk about the history as I normally do for these episodes, and later on we will discuss the evidence of what we captured, and then we will get to the post-interview segment with Mike Delcoro, and again, he'll be interviewing Patti Negri and Paravibes. Tahoe Biltmore first opened its doors in 1947 and operated as a hotel and casino. It was built in the aftermath of World War II and operated as a seasonal hotel due to its harsh winters. It closed, during that time because it's harsh winters. The Biltmore has been financially successful, but it was sold 3 times, which during that decade, or in general, that's just not really a good sign of good luck, or it's bad luck per se. So anyways, but it was bringing a lot of income, so it kind of managed through its years. It did change its name to the Nevada Lodge in 1958. It changed ownership again in 1985 and became again the Tahoe Biltmore as it's known. The Tahoe Biltmore was known to be a quiet backwater inn casino, and it pretty much had a few hundred slots, machines, hotel rooms, and restaurant. It's a getaway kind of for the rich and I guess the mobsters as well. So pretty much it's known for its haunted reported activity for celebrities kind of being there in its eras, in that 50 eras, and then mob activities. So you'll even get celebrities from the 50s, not saying that they haunt the Tahoe Biltmore, but just giving you an idea of what celebrities have performed there in the past. And forgive me if I'm saying these names wrong, but it's Lena Horne, Phyllis Diller, Helen O'Connell, Rowan and Martin, Rhodey Valley, and Regis Philbin performed there as well. On top of that, it was a nice little getaway for mobsters to kind of enjoy the beautiful scenery, but also a hush-hush area that's in the middle of this forest and They could do their dirty crime in meetings and organizations, I guess. So yes, that is pretty much the haunted activity that's kind of going around that hotel and inn, or what it was. One of the famous spirits and ghosts is known to be the spirit of Mary, and she was a reported dancer in the showroom at the Tahoe Biltmore. She died sometime in the 1960s in a car accident. Guests have reported seeing a faceless woman in like a red mini skirt, and she's just kind of around the property, making herself known. I know that when we were there at the time, Eric caught like a really cool EVP when we first got there of what we believe was the spirit of Mary. I don't think we got that clip because obviously we had the cameras rolling, but we just showed up there and we just let the recorders roll. And I think he asked if the spirit of Mary was here, and I think she responded. I believe she responded saying yes. So, anyways, she's known to be the reported spirit that haunts that location pretty frequently, and people have witnessed and reported seeing. Also, the spirits of the victims of the mob-related gang, I guess you can say, are known to, roam around the Tahoe Biltmore. Right, so moving forward to our capture experience. So this was like the big Paracon, better known as Para Experience, PEX. It was kind of like the first launch of PEX, and I was very proud to be part of it. Of course, I wasn't part of the talent at the time. Actually, Eric was, and he got invited. I was just there as support of War Party, being a new member and helping out, whether if it's filming, whatever, putting some devices on the ground, like just that type of work. So I was just really there for support of my team. And there's a very great talent that was there, and I got to meet them. Actually, later on, became friends with them. So obviously, the Queen Patti Negri was there. You have Vivian from Dead Hours that actually hosted the Pair Experience, as well as Jamie, event coordinator, New Reality, Cemetery Road. You got Ben in the gang from Central Utah Paranormal, which is awesome. Aaron from Ghost Crier, Joe Vitale, Levy from Chasing Darkness, or Chasing in the Darkness, and the Haunted Side. So anyways, it was a really cool event, and it's just cool to meet all these different paranormal investigators that come from all these different locations and states, and it just kind of combining all our evidence at once, which we will get to here shortly. I definitely have to say Ben from Central Utah Paranormal, that is our boy and his team. They were like our buddies throughout the trip, and actually we collaborate with them throughout the event and the investigation. Cool thing about this event, it literally felt like a big pair unity, like we all just got along. And then later on, Jamie, sorry, my dogs are just going crazy in the background, but later on, Jamie and Vivian were super sweet, who pretty much let me be part of the talent and be part of the interview process with Eric as well. Sorry. 1 second, please. Anyways, we did experience some pretty crazy things over there as far as like in my room, like the smoke alarm or detector was going off and there was like no smoke, and it was just really weird because nobody was like doing anything for like the smoke detector to go off. So yeah, I thought that was kind of strange, and it happened like once, and it was just really random. It just wouldn't shut up, and it just like was kind of like, what is going on? Other than that, other than what we captured, which I'm going to roll here shortly. Actually, I want to show all the clips because there is a lot that we've captured, including with the Queen Patti Negri. So I'm going to roll those, and I want you to check them out. So here we go.
I'm going to leave the recorder running there for a few minutes and see what we got.
Okay, that's good. And I also got some energy looking in from out.
Remove bag. It just popped out. The recorders.
Alright, I got these two devices. We heard you earlier. He's talking about red light. We can hear you. Someone close the door, and he's getting ready to light.
Maybe the background noise because I have the door open. That's distracting.
What a whisper.
What was that?
That's-
What was that? I just got chills right now. What was that?
Alright, I got these two devices. We heard you earlier. He's talking about red light right near you. Someone close the door, and he's getting ready to fight.
Just say get the fuck out.
I think someone would get something out. Hold on. Something was get something.
Alright, I got
Or get the
these
fuck
two
out could be.
devices. We heard you earlier. He's talking about red light right near you. Someone close the door, and he's getting ready to fight.
Get the fuck out.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
My name is Eric. Can you tell me your name? Is David here?
Yeah.
I heard like something David, right? Listen,
Yeah.
at the very end.
Hello, my name is Eric. Can you tell me your name? Is David here?
Right there.
All right, you heard that?
There, holy moly.
I seen it because it went crazy.
Yeah.
And it said, listen.
Listen.
Oh, that's Jack, too. Hello, my name is Eric. Can you tell me your name? Is David here?
So that's very, very substantial because he played both recorders at the same time and only picked it up on that one,
Exactly.
which is cool.
Very
That-
cool.
To me, that's an intelligent haunting. That's not,
Absolutely.
you know.
Does anyone know of it, David? Like a history of it, David?
Are you afraid of him? Tell us your name. Are you afraid of him?
Yes.
It almost sounds like, yeah, I'm afraid. Listen. Wait, play it again.
Are you afraid of him?
Yeah, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
You can almost hear it.
That's crazy.
That's somebody talking.
I like crazy. Crazy's good.
Hello, was alcohol, like to drink alcohol, was it legal at during your time? Do you know it's legal now? And not only is it legal, you can buy marijuana like just down the street from here. Like pretty much everything's legal here. What do you think about that?
Does it sound like that's right?
That's right. I don't
That
know.
is ridiculous.
I heard yes, and then I heard that's right.
That's right.
Listen, let me turn this
That's
off.
a really good one.
Can you guys hear this down here?
Yeah. Can you guys hear that? Yeah.
That's pretty crazy, right?
Yeah.
Hello, was alcohol, like to drink alcohol, was it legal at during your time?
Yes.
Do you know it's legal now? And not only is it legal, you can buy marijuana like just down the street from here. Like pretty much everything's legal here. What do you think about that?
That's right.
What do you think about that?
That's right.
You know what it is? I think like from doing like past events, like earlier when we were coming, we weren't getting much. Like we were getting like a lot of stuff with the dowsing rods. That was the only thing that was really
I was
working.
picking up with thousand hours activity.
But I think like each person has a different vibe, and like when you do like certain locations, you get different types of activity.
Yeah.
Like you'll have one group, like you'll almost like feel the vibe with them, and you won't get anything, and then like maybe with you guys, like now they're like being more vocal. I don't know.
Are you trying to get Lori's attention?
Yes.
Yeah.
Carrie?
I think I heard Carrie again.
Yeah.
You hear that? It said yes, Carrie.
Carrie.
Listen.
Are you trying to get Lori's attention?
Yes.
Did you just miss the Carrie?
Carrie.
That's the way it happens.
That was a good voice. Yeah, that's
Oh,
cool.
that gave me goosebumps.
Yeah.
Weird,
That's cool.
I
That was
love
cool.
that. It gets really quiet.
Yeah.
Kind of at the end, and then
Did you hear it?
Did you guys hear it?
Did you guys hear it?
I did.
No.
Oh, look.
Wait, is your chair touching
Did
that
you touch that?
No.
Well, your legs are crossed now.
Nope, I'm not
You may
touching
have bumped
anything.
it.
Nope.
Nope. I have my hand right here.
Are you trying to get more attention?
That's plain as day.
And it said, yes, I did. It wasn't just, yeah. It said, yeah, I did. Listen.
Yeah.
When I asked about if it was trying to get Lloyd's attention.
Are you trying to get more attention? Carrie?
And like you said, yeah, I did it.
Carrie.
And like you said, yeah, I did it.
You're joining the team. It's official.
I'm your extension in Vegas, okay, guys?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna be our Vegas chapter.
Yes.
Right. That was pretty cool. Like, I was just flabbergasted again. That was just here investigating with Patti Negri. And it was just crazy, like from the seance to, even with New Reality in the room capturing those EVPs on the DR60, which is probably one of my favorite tools to use. For sure, it was just such a great experience and just really cool that we captured these type of things. Now, moving forward, I want to save the best for last. So this is probably the best clip that we've captured throughout the whole night as War Party, and actually Ben from Central Paranormal Utah was there as well. Again, we were collaborating together that night. He was killing it with those dowsing rods. Give it up to Ben. I mean, I have dowsing rods myself. I have like little mini ones, but it's not like, Ben's like a savage with those things. But anywho, let's roll the clip with Carri and Erica. Carri definitely has a little ghosty crush, and we'll show that here shortly. I've never seen a ghost crush so hard on somebody, and she's just awesome. That was her first night actually winning this SBS7 Spirit Box from a raffle, and she killed it. So let's go ahead and show that clip.
We're going to introduce ourselves to you, and after we're done doing that, I want you to say someone's name that you like. My name is Eric, so you already know me.
Erica.
My name is Francesca.
Sherry. Oh, I'm sorry.
Carrie.
Dylan.
Jacqueline.
Carrie.
Say someone's name that you like. Carrie? It said Carrie. Did you hear that? You like Carrie? That was pretty cool. On your SB7. Carrie? It said Carrie. Did you hear that? Carrie? It said Carrie.
Yeah, pretty cool, huh? So those girls are awesome. Like, I freaking love them, and you will see them in the post-interview segment here shortly. Just overall, such a cool experience. I really can't tell you how amazing it was, and I would love to go back. Sadly, the haunted Tahoe Biltmore no longer exists. There's a developer that bought the lot and pretty much will be constructing like this high-end resort. So I guess stay tuned for that. I mean, they said the ghosts are no longer there, but I believe that's BS. I mean, you can't, the land's the land. At the end of the day, it's not so much about the structure of the building, though that does help with the elements, but it's mostly about the land itself that creates the brewery of haunting. So regardless of what you put there, it's going to be very haunted. I'm sure the spirit of Mary will not leave. I put money on that. So whatever new development, if things go well with the new development as well, things can go along the way with construction. As we know, as investigators, construction stirs up the pot with haunted activity.
So, this new planned high-end resort, skiing resort, so it'll be kind of the almost same. Maybe it's like, I don't remember if they say it's casino, maybe the same concept. It's gonna be different. It's like this like ski resort type of concept, and it's supposed to be this like luxurious type. It's expected to open, I think, in 2027, if I'm not mistaken, when I did my research on that. But regardless of what you put there, trust me, I think it's going to be haunted. And it's sad because, we went there actually last PEX. So that my second PEX I went to, actually I was telling in that one, but later on I'll discuss that in another season of Supernatural Eye. PX round 2. But anyways, and when we went to Virginia City, I wanted to do a pit stop to Tahoe Biltmore. It was so sad seeing like all the plywood up and just looking so different than when we went this year and the evidence that we showed. I mean, I'm proud to say that I investigated the hotel before it was taken down. It's just such a historical structure, and it's sad that it's gone. But that's what happens with these hungry developers. So I guess it's time to move on. Also, before we move on to the post-interview segment, Mike Delcoro again will be interviewing Patti Negri and also Paravibes. But before we get to that, I did want to mention like my experience meeting Patti. It was so funny because again, I was a huge fan, and I've watched her, seeing Ghost Adventures and then just seeing all these paranormal shows as well. And I just remember when she first came into the room, I think it was like the ballroom at the Tahoe, and she was just like walking in. It was like her presence. It was like this lovely aura, this like, and I think my face, I don't know if I was shocked. I was just probably looking at her the whole time, probably just like, I had no words to say. Like I was definitely like just frozen in time or whatever. And she was saying hi to everybody in the circle as far as like the talents and everything else. And then I kind of like, shook my hand. I think, hey, Fran, Patti, and then afterwards I just like didn't know what to say, so it was like kind of like word vomit, but it was like so true. I let her know I love the Willow report, by the way. Willow's so cute. And she's like, oh, thank you, but she's just so lovely, her aura, just everything. She's just very humble and sweet, but it was just like the most awkward moment, I'm sure, for her, because she's like, oh, I was expecting probably something else, and definitely that came out. But I think she definitely knew I was nervous. I mean, who knows, she's psychic. So but yeah, it was really funny. Like that was like the first thing that came out. Also, another little fan of the Willow report and the Gracie report too is this guy here, Salem. He is also, he's got that dachshund gene. He's a Sweeney, Mr. Salem. Sweeney stand for what is it? What is it? So dachshund with a Shih Tzu, or either better known as Shit Weenie, because they can be little shits. But he loves the Willow report. Don't you love the Willow report? So he's kind of like Willow. He doesn't like to look at the camera either. So it could be like a dachshund gene. But anyways, he loves Patti and loves the Willow report and the Gracie report. Right, Sam? He was bugging me. Now he's just camera shy. I just want to be on camera. Look. And I guess he yawns too. It must be a thing. Anyways. So the other thing we wanted to mention, support for Patti, is her book. I don't know if you could see that. It is Old World Magic for the Modern World, and I love this book. I literally read it like within less than 2 days. It's actually you can read it in a day. It's not a whole lot, but it just like I was saving little pieces at a time. Even when I took my old dog Romeo to the groomers, I like reread it and like read segments. So you bit the top of this, mister. I was so upset. Anyways, he didn't like rip it completely because I caught it on time. But Miss Patti herself signed it for me. Actually, I Tahoe Biltmore. I don't think you can, maybe it's too far off the lens. But anyways, you can kind of see it, maybe not. There we go. Oh, there we go. So yeah. I was like, love her. So definitely check out this book. She's amazing. Patti, just, you're beyond amazing. She's so humble, sweet, and really, really gifted. The seance was amazing that she conducted at the Tahoe Biltmore itself. I felt myself kind of drained. Like I was like, actually, no, not kind of. I was very drained. Sorry, Salem. I was very drained. Just for the fact that it literally took a lot out of you. We were doing the event and then just investigating Eric and I for War Party. And just as we sat down and to do this seance, I was like really looking forward to it because I've never done a seance before. And then on top of that, it's like the queen herself was doing it or conducting it. So just to sit there, it was really cool. It was just a cool experience. At a point, I did felt like maybe my grandmother came through. I was like trying to stay awake. But I remember at a point she said like something about sunflowers and nobody responded. And I felt like she was kind of looking in my area, but like she kind of moved on to the next person. But in my intuitive feeling, I felt like it was just kind of like, it was weird. I just felt like maybe there's so many personalities there that all eyes were there on top of like maybe the existing ghosts there, but it was so draining. And that's why I felt like there were so many personalities. Not that I saw so much, but I just like felt and I was like about to pass out. And I didn't want to disrespect Patti because she's just brilliant. It was really interesting. I was very intrigued. I was just so like upset. Like I was like fighting it too. I remember like I was trying to like fight my tiredness. But anyways, it was just an unbelievable experience. Like Lake Tahoe, it's sad again, Tahoe Biltmore's not there, but just in general, that area is beautiful. It just like there's some majestic properties or scenery to it that's just it makes the experience just 100% amazing. And again, it was like a unity bond. Like you met so many different people, personalities and their talents, and everybody was just so gifted in their way. So it was overall just a really great experience. Anyways, let's take this over to the post-interview segment with Mike Delcoro. Again, he is going to be interviewing the queen herself of mediumship, Patti Negri. I'm so flattered and honored she took the time out of her busy schedule and day to coordinate this, and props to Eric for helping that out too, because literally without you I don't know, this would not happen. So I just want to say thank you so much, and again, this is going to be so amazing. Really, what an honor, and what an honor it was, Patti, to investigate with you twice now. This was the first time, so we'll get to the second time in another season. But anyways, what an honor, and just such a, with celebrities, and also even when we were at Tahoe Biltmore, everybody, pretty much the majority of the talent was great, was chill, just was amazing. We respect each other, but there was other individuals, I'm not going to name them here because I'm not trying to feed onto any negativity or try to just show hate or disrespect, even though we've been hated on before by these individuals during Eric trying to do a presentation, and they know who they are. But I like with people like that, it's just you kind of have to learn how to block it off, and actually this book will teach you how to do that. So there's you got to focus on yourself at the end of the day, and just do your work, be positive, be kind to others, respect others in the community, because at the end of the day, we're not here to compete amongst each other. We're here to work together to provide answers to the community and show that there is life after death. And trust me, when we all work together, I think it comes up with great results. And you will, and most of the time it felt like that at the Tahoe Biltmore. It was really, really great, kind of like kumbaya. Like I kid you not, it did felt great. So even past the BS and the drama, we did pass that, and I think those individuals kind of realized that themselves along the way, but hopefully they learned. But if not, that's their problem. But Patti, on the other hand, one thing I have to respect, especially with some celebrities, because celebrities too have the tendency to have egos, but Patti herself was very, very positive, just super humble, and just again beyond what you expect. I mean, not even so. Like, you see her on TV is exactly what you get. She's just like that. And seeing her on TV, I always said I want to meet Patti Negri. Like, she just looks amazing. She looks so sweet. She looks gifted. Like, just awesome psychic I want to work with if I were to become a paranormal investigator. And here we are. My dreams came true. So I just can't tell you how amazing that feeling is. And meeting her, and then her like, oh, you're like my friend. I'm like, oh, stop it. I'm not. I'm no one. Just super sweet, super humble, and she does go beyond to show that. And just love you, Patti Negri. You're super real. Thank you so much, and please stay humble. Anywho, let's move on to the next segment. Mike Delcoro is going to take the stage now, interviewing the queen. But first, we're going to interview Paravibes, just because we had the best clip of evidence with them. And then we're going to go to the queen herself. So thank you guys for watching Supernatural Eye. Stay tuned for the next episode. Forgive me. Next episode. I'm just very excited for what you guys are going to see here soon. So that's what I'm like, can't even think. So next episode is going to be badass. So stay tuned. It's going to be local, and then we're going to bring back the team again. So I'm going to give you more deets along the way, so stay tuned for that trailer. But now let's pass it over to Mike Delcoro. Thank you guys again for watching Supernatural Eye. You guys are amazing. Love you. Bye guys, and happy March. March is a great month. It's my mother's birthday. On top of that, St. Patrick's Day. I'm wearing the greens, my plant here. But anywho, it's a blessed, lucky month, and stay kind. Love you guys.
Hey, how you doing, guys? This is Mike Delcoro, and we're with the Supernatural Eye post-interview, and I'm joined here with two lovely ladies from Paravibes. We got Carri and Erica. How you guys doing tonight?
Great.
How are you?
Awesome. So just got a couple quick questions for you guys. It's nothing too crazy, but so you guys went to PEX, right, at the Tahoe Biltmore, and you guys met with Franny and Eric from War Party, and just kind of want to talk a little bit about your experience and how you guys met Franny and Eric and that kind of thing. So how did you guys know them before the event?
No, we did not.
Okay. And
I had heard the name War Party Paranormal from Vivian Noir. She said they
okay.
were going to be there, but I had no idea.
Gotcha. And then so once you guys met there, you guys kind of clicked and became buddies, right?
Friends.
Cool. And how did you guys get started in the paranormal world?
We actually got started at PEX. Erica brought me along. It was just a fun girls' weekend, just a, hey, let's, go see everybody and see Vivian, who we know. And I was like, okay, yeah, why not? I really wasn't personally too into it just yet. Other than like Travel Channel shows and stuff. Erica kind of had a little more knowledge of everybody and everything. And then we drove up to Tahoe, and that whole experience there, that 3-day weekend, definitely, like, the drive back was you want to do this? Like, yes, absolutely. Like, we're going to do this for sure. So that whole experience started it.
Very, very cool. And then you guys got to investigate, right, with them?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we did.
So how did that go?
So Eric, thanks to him telling me that I was the sacrificial lamb at Biltmore, weirdly enough, a lot of things were happening around there before we started the investigation with them. And so, we were sitting on the couch talking to a couple people, and a hatch above me on way up in the ceiling just opened randomly, and everyone got super freaked out, and I was like, no, nothing's happening, and everyone's like, no, seriously, look up, and it's right above me, this opening. I'm like, wow. No, put me somewhere else, right? And so almost the whole time before we actually really hung out with Eric and Franny, just random crazy things were happening that we just couldn't explain. We're seeing things, we're hearing things, we're like, is this real, And so Eric thought it was funny, and he's like, well, yeah, you're going to be the sacrificial lamb. Let's make this happen. I said, we're like, okay. So we ended up investigating in the mob room with them. And I'm someone who I've never in my childhood, all the way up to now, have ever had paranormal experiences. I've never seen anything, never heard anything, was always like, I don't know if I want to, see this. And it was so exhilarating being in there because things were happening. My name was being called constantly. My spirit box that I won at PEX, literally the first time I'm using it, my name's coming across it. We're getting EVPs talking about me. And so it was just, wow, holy crap, what do I do now? And of course she thought it was absolutely hilarious. She was like, yeah, definitely, let's keep going.
Well, and that's when at PX last year, I never let her know that I was an empath or anything like that. So at PX, I was like, so now that you've experienced some stuff and you've talked to Sean, I'm gifted And there's a woman in the room with us, and she's like, "A what?"
That's
So
awesome.
definitely opened up a lot more knowledge and curiosity and just more fun experiences from that investigation.
It
That
is
was a
addicting.
pinnacle one.
That's for sure, especially on, not everybody gets to experience something like that during, especially one of your first investigations, so that kind of was like, you hit a grand slam like right in your first game, right? So that's very awesome that you got to experience some of that stuff there. And then Patti Negri was there as well. She's a friend of ours. And what was your experiences meeting and talking with her and everything?
Oh my gosh, I adore Patty. She was so warm and welcoming. Like, because I walked up like a little fangirl, because me and my Ghost Adventure days, I was just like, I just need to fangirl right now. I've never thought I'd meet you. And she was just like, okay, come here. It was just, and through that experience, we sat, I think, multiple times with Patty, just talking about feelings and experiences and things happening that whole weekend. And she was, really, really warm and welcoming, talking about how she felt that if I would just jump in a lot more and start accepting the things that I'm seeing and hearing, then I would start to notice them more. I'd start to notice that, oh my gosh, it's not just, a blink of an eye kind of thing and you just brush it off. It's, there are things happening around you. And if you would just pay attention, you'd see it. And she was 100% right. Ever since talking with her, it's a whole different vibe. Like, now things happen in my house all the time and I'm sitting here like, can you stop, please? Like, I have work to do.
Exactly. And that's what you have to do almost too, right? Like when something like that's going on and you start to tune in, that's the way that I always describe it. I've had somebody just recently ask me, like, hey, I hear something in my house. Sometimes I hear like a mimic, and I told them the same thing. I said, you got to basically stand up and say, listen, this is my space and you have to own it, and I don't want to be bothered and I'm sorry, but this is my time. And that's awesome. So like what you said right there was actually what we kind of tell people to do and everything like that. So, and yeah, and again, to comment back on Patty, she is, same experience. When I first met her, she was super humble, super knowledgeable, very, very sweet. And you can almost pick up off of her energy. She's so energetic and just has so much positive energy, and she's so wonderful to be around. She's very, very awesome, and I love Patty. She's great.
Absolutely. We actually, in this last PEX in Virginia City, we got to sit with Patty through multiple Delco experiences. So that was
Cool.
a lot of fun. So
yeah, let me ask you about that real quick. What is your take on that on that experiment? I don't know if you know, but I'm the one that kind of came up with the experiment. So
yes, her and I laughed so hard because we're watching Patty go through it. We're watching Natalie from Paraflix go through it with the Delco goggles on. And it was just so incredible hearing their experiences of what things that they might be seeing while they're under. And by saying, I mean, like, they're seeing, a red light initially, and then they're talking about things are melting around me. It's like a brick wall melting. It's like this, it's like that. And you talk to other people who have done the Delco experiment and not even in relation to that, and they're talking about their experiences, and it's almost similar. Like they're in this trance of just seeing this kind of like wall come down, and then they're like brought into this like overwhelming feeling, excuse me. And I'm so jealous. I want to try it. And I'm like, I need to hear it. I need to see it. I want to know. Because as like Eric was asking questions to Patty and to Natalie, they were answering things, but he's not talking directly to them because they can't hear him, And Patty was sitting there next to Natalie at one point, and was just talking out loud and was like, yeah, this. And Natalie was just uncanny, just on top of it, saying responses exactly in tandem with what Patty's talking about and the questions she's asking. And it was just mind blowing. I was sitting there with my Instagram live, like, you see this?
Yeah, actually, I think you sent us one of the videos of that, and I appreciate that. Thank you, by the way, because I didn't get to make it. So getting to see Patti and Natalie do that was awesome for me, because we were kind of just doing it within the team. And when Eric brought the goggles up there, I didn't even know. And I was super excited to see their responses and everybody else's responses. So that was really something that really made, I don't even know how to explain it. It was like just, amazing to see everybody else, and their experiences. So
I have a wish list now. I want to take those goggles into Washoe Club, because we didn't really get to do a night experiment there, or investigate, our team. So that would be absolutely incredible to do it in there and just see what comes up.
I have been it's been a little tough getting parts to make them, because I upped them a little bit since then. So now they're fully electroluminescent panels instead of just an LED. But I have been selling them, and for anybody out there watching, if you want to check them out, if you go to my website, flaparanormalresearcher.com, there's a link there to my eBay where I've been selling them. But yeah, no, that's great, and it's really awesome to hear you guys say that. And then investigating with Franny, and what was your opinions like meeting her and her?
I honestly think Franny has the best vibe. It is really hard not to love her instantly. It is, I can't find fault with her ever. We are, every time we're together, we're up to some shenanigans. But investigating with her, she to me is someone that I look up to on so many levels, because she's such a professional when she gets in there, and she knocks it out of the park. The questions she asks, how she handles the equipment, when she was teaching us and guiding us along, we're absorbing everything she says like sponges, because we're like, oh my gosh, this is such, she's like the pinnacle of female investigator. Like, you're around all these guys, no offense, but they all know what they're doing with their tech stuff, and you got girls like us who are like, okay, how do we hold this camera the right way,
Yeah.
And you got Franny like, here, this is what you do, and it's so nice to have somebody that's like that, and that you can just get along with so quickly. She's so personable.
She is, and she's really a great person to investigate with. She's very kind and professional, and like I said, we this series that she's been doing was, a lot of it was on the team and different things. So, she's a very great addition to having her on War Party. And it's so it's been quite some time, because I think that's right around when she first joined War Party was about that 2 years ago. So very, very cool. And is there anything else that kind of stuck out from that experience, like in general, that you guys want to add?
After we got done investigating in the mob room, we walked out, and the other guests had already left and gone to the bar. But we were sitting there talking with Eric and Franny, and I was like, whose perfume is that? It smells amazing. And Franny's like, it's not mine. I was like, it's not mine. Mine is vanilla. It's not Carri's. Carri's is something else. I'm like, it's not Franny's. It's definitely a perfume and not a cologne. So we ruled Eric out. And me and Franny literally walked into the kitchen area trying to find this perfume trail.
It was completely moving the whole way.
It was like
from the mob room.
She was walking away from us, and we were just like, she was like, I don't smell anything. I don't know what you're talking about. Eric's like, I don't know. Brady's like, no, I'm totally with you. I feel something. I smell this. Like, it's very validating to have someone else go, I'm right here in the moment with you. There's something here. And it was the coolest thing ever. Of course, we weren't recording.
Yeah, no, we were on a little.
But that's like one of those personal experiences, right? That's just really mind blowing. Phantom smells and things like that, and when you can have somebody collaborate that with you, it's an amazing experience.
Yeah,
And that's really neat.
and to piggyback off that validation is it's nice to have somebody, and Franny especially, like, she was so excited with us through this whole experience because, mind you, it's our first investigation, really. It's the first time I've ever had these types of experiences, and we're getting, like, the questions that are being asked, who do you like in this room? And you hear Carri come across the thing, and I'm like, oh, I'm like, okay, hi. Okay. And I got cat balls lighting up next to me. I've got, and just experiencing how Franny and Eric work and how, everything was going. It was so mind blowing. It was so cool. And Franny basically like jumping up with us, like, I can't believe that just happened. And we're like, we're doing, like, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's so cool. And that's so great to hear that, and it seems like everybody, like I said, I wasn't there, so it seemed like everybody was super friendly and it was a really great experience.
Mm-hmm.
Also, just so for the viewers here, if they want to follow you guys or check out some of your content, where can they do that at? Where can they find you?
Mostly right now, it's on Instagram at Paravibes only. Um, that's probably our biggest platform right now. We haven't been too active just because, we're all working moms and busy, and we have been expanding our team. So we have a couple new people joined. We have our tech and equipment manager, which is our friend Rock, and then we also have, I'm sure many people in the paranormal community know, J9, or Spooky Time with J9.
Yes.
She is now part of Paravibes only as well.
Oh, awesome.
So we are, planning different fun adventures. This last text was our big, like, the three of us getting in there and seeing how we work together. And then, we're mapping out Vegas, mapping out Nevada as a whole. And hopefully within the next few months, we can all start jumping in and doing some more investigations and building up our repertoire with everybody.
Very, very cool. Like I love to hear it. That's great. And yeah. So and for me, guys, if you want to check out any of my personal content, obviously warpartyparanormal.com. And then also if you want to check out any of my social media stuff, it's FLA paranormalresearcher.com. And you guys it has links to all my social media, different things like that. And make sure you check out Eric and I's new season of The Haunted Files, now streaming on Paraflix. So super excited about that. And so thank you guys. I really want to thank you for coming on and everything. And Franny thanks you and everybody. So we really appreciate it. And we'll see you guys next time.
Awesome. Thank you.
Hi, welcome to the Supernatural Eye post-interview section. My name is Mike Delcoro with War Party Paranormal, and I'm here with the lovely Patti Negri again. And how are you doing today, Patti?
I am excellent. Thank you so much for having me on, Mike. I'm happy to be here. All's good.
Awesome. Yeah, same here. Everything's going well, so that's great. And just had some questions for you, and nothing that you can't handle, I'm sure. Just wanted to ask like a few things for the show, like to start off, like when did you find out like that you had a gift? Like when did you find out? Like were you younger or later in life, or how did that go?
No, I was a baby. As long as I could remember, as long as I can talk, I was able to see spirits.
Wow.
As a toddler, I just knew, I mean, literally almost cliche, that the creature in the closet and under the bed, I knew the so-called imaginary friends weren't imaginary at all. They were real beings. And I think kids really can see. I think it just gets taught out of us in our modern Western non-mystical society. It's like, oh yes, your imaginary friend. Not always. And there's nothing wrong with imaginary friends too, but I just knew. And on even the witchy shamanic side of things, I would find myself in my little suburban Los Angeles backyard picking certain kinds of plants and putting them in my mom's wallet, knowing it would give her money, and making weird concoctions. And I mean, she didn't quite understand. She's like, "Are you putting dirt in my wallet?" No, it's not. No, it's not money. It's rosemary and mint. No, and then years later, I study this, and I was right on all the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So I'm learning stuff here too. This is awesome.
Yay.
And then, how do you like? I know you do a lot of investigations, and how do you protect yourself from the negative side of things? Because when you open yourself up, you're not only letting in the good, sometimes you're letting in the not so good.
Yes. That is why I have studied always. So if I like to study in different belief systems, cosmologies, religions, all that. So I know, that we're going to go there, so I can battle in all. I'm a firm believer that really this is our realm of existence, that this three-dimensional world is ours, and not that they're not here, they certainly are here, but that we have control. We just don't know it, and people usually give away control. And the classic, react with fear or react with anger. If it's negative, that's exactly what it was. So like, no, be the mom, be the teacher. Nope, my house, not here. Other than the attitude, which is everything, I know the largest portal on our body is right where our head and neck come together. That's like, we have our third eye. This whole area on the top of the head is what I call crown of illumination. That's why when you see magical pictures of holy people in every religion, the glow, the halo, that's where our 5 and 6 senses are. And the one at the back of the head is where stuff gets in. That's even why when you bow your head to pray in any religion, that's to let in spirit. So I protect that. I close it down, half close it down, 2/3 and 3.7 close it down, open it up, put definitive who gets in and who doesn't, especially I'm going to channel. I work with a lot of sigils, a lot of runes and sigils, Helm of Awe, that 8-sided cross I always have on me, almost anywhere I'm going, anywhere scary. I even have underwear with it on. Patty's Power Panties. That's my newest thing. It's like, yeah. You see my underwear, dude.
Yeah, I gotta get some boxers like that.
Yeah. I have them now.
See, I'm into like, sometimes with symbolism as well.
Yes.
And then what, that's so funny. Like, it was like really blowing my mind when you were saying that, because I haven't ever heard anybody say that before. Because like I said, I'm more of on the technical side of things, right? We were doing Estes method and sometimes the Delco experiment that you're familiar with. I've felt tingle like on the back of my neck, felt like somebody was touching me right on the back, right where you were describing. And so has a couple other people that did the experiment as well. So that was like, whoa.
That's the biggest portal on your body for spirit to get in, touch, and everything. Yeah.
Very, very neat to learn. I'm learning stuff. This is great.
I learn every day.
I'm learning every day. That's the one thing about this profession too, or a field or whatever you want to call it. That I'm always learning. We're always learning different things, and it's fantastic, and especially with meeting with different people and different things. So, and then what stood out to you most at the Tahoe Biltmore when you guys were there for PEX, the first one?
Well, first, again, the people. Again, I just loved it because it was such a magical group. That everybody who was there was of like mind, was there to explore and investigate, and was that. And once you're getting past that, I think the texture in the building, it really it had the vibe of that 50s old Hollywood, just like it looks like it. It had the energy of it. It didn't feel like we were in a castle from the year 1800. It didn't feel like we were just in like a mining town of Virginia City. It had that glamour air that I think it was built around and was its heyday, and that stuck with it.
Yeah, isn't that neat? Isn't that neat when you could feel like the vibe of the different locations? That's so cool. Here's a good one. What was your impression meeting Eric and Franny for the first time?
Oh my gosh, I love them meeting Eric and Franny, because Franny was a little shy at first.
Yeah.
And Eric wasn't. And I just love both of their energy. Because again, I see energy before I even see eye color or hair color coming into something. And they were the real deal, good people.
That was actually one of my next questions, that Franny told me she was like super nervous to meet you because she was a big fan of yours. And she wanted to know if you could tell that right away. And that you kind of answered that question.
Yeah.
So yeah, Eric is he's not shy, that's for sure.
No,
so.
he wasn't shy. And she was shy, and she was so cute. And it's like, come over.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's really, really a great person, and that's awesome that you say that. That although I just skipped over that question, yeah, because we answered that. Any advice that you would give for investigators working with psychic mediums or spiritual people and different things of that nature?
Yeah, just again, it'll take to, it just think of us not in a weird way, but as another tool. You have your K2 meter, you have your SLFs, you have your recorders, you have your intuitive. And if it's not like this versus that, because I think in the olden days people didn't quite get it, and if a medium came on to medium-y, it's like that doesn't fit in. We're tech people. And I think, good mediums and psychics or intuitives, whatever you want to call it, learn to be, okay, we're not doing a seance in the middle of the floor. And no, we're with this group of investigators. You don't do anything fake or real, but it's fit into the team, be a team player.
Awesome. And yeah, and you know what, that's a pretty newer type thing, I would say, in the last 5-10 years, that we've been collaborating with technical people, with spiritual people, and it's really, really neat. Well, I mean, they've always done that with like detectives and working with mediums and different things, but we're when it comes to the ghost hunting side of things, and I think it's a great mixture, isn't it? Isn't it really just such a great mixture?
It is so great because it's a confirmation on both sides. Like I've been doing this since I was a baby. So I might go, okay, there's the ghost in the corner and they're crossing their arms, open, close, open, close. So you believe me or you don't believe me, whatever. Now there's a guy or a gal with an SLS camera in the other room that can't see me or hear me. I can't see them. And they've got a green stick figure crossing and opening their arms. It's like that much confirmation.
And especially like that kind of thing, or you're getting an EVP that's lining up with something that you're seeing or expressing or feeling. And there's nothing better than that kind of collaborative evidence, that I would say. And then as far as that experience at the Biltmore, was there anything during your seance, like doing things like that? Do you remember anything that kind of would stick out to you to remember? I know it was quite some time ago. There's been another one since that, and there's almost a third one, so it was a while ago, but just throwing it out there.
I don't remember specifics, because again, even if you would have asked me like 1 hour later, because I do go into trance state, it doesn't look like it because I look like I'm talking just like this. Again, I don't get all woo woo as a rule, but I am in trance state, so it's kind of dreamlike. But I do remember a lot of spirits watching, because again, the place we were at, the way I particularly open the veil versus just like, let's see what's here. It's like I clean off the window so everybody could be more sensitive. Everybody could be a little more intuitive and see or sense or smell. And I just remember how many, literally, it was like which was a little bit odd. The circle of the living humans, and then this circle of spirits, like onlookers. It was really cute.
Really cool. Yeah, that's amazing. Do you feel that like people would get drained during that? Like even people that aren't very sensitive, do you feel like they even can get drained during a situation like that?
100%. Yes. It uses our energy, just like investigations do and seances do, mediumship, whatever. They're using our energy to help us to communicate with them. I always call it, it's a seance hangover, or it's a ritual hangover, it's an investigation hangover. No, I haven't been drinking, but it's the energy. Just like they drain the cameras and they drain your watch battery, they drain us. My big thing though is and this started out with seances, because again, I've been doing those since I was 7, and my style is a little of that old spiritualist style of the style. One thing that really helps, and I think just for regular investigations or anything you're doing, eat something sweet before your investigation. In the spiritualists, I thought it was magic, but I think it's blood sugar. It's just blood sugar.
Blood sugar too. Yeah.
So eat something sweet, whether it's apple juice, cookies, grapes, it doesn't matter. Have something sweet before you go in. All your senses are going to be stronger. And more importantly, eat something salty afterwards, because you want to ground, especially doing all this. It helps you from not taking it home, and both energetically and literally. So, I'm always passing out pretzels or potato chips. Just eat something salty. It'll ground you immediately. Touch iron, whether, if you have a big old witchy cauldron or not, the stairwell, the column on the stairwell, you could always find something iron, the old trash can in the back, big heavy metal. If you have a lodestone. So you want to really open it up with literal blood sugar, and then you want to shut it down, because the more delineation you have, the better.
Very, very neat. Very, very neat stuff, Patti. So I could learn from you like all night. So, but I really appreciate you guys coming on tonight and doing this. And again, this is the Patti, also real quick, do you have anything, any new events coming out or any stuff? I'm sure you do. You're nonstop. You're probably the busiest person that I know of. And but if there's anything that you want to promote or throw out there right now, that would be the time.
I have this list. No, I literally, I'm doing a thing at Mentryville this weekend with my friend Linda, the ghost hunter, who works with the overnight guys that I work with, the YouTube guys. I just got back from the Witches Ball. I'm have the Parapod Festival in Santa Clarita, April 1st, and that's an award show. I'm actually up for 2 awards: Best Spiritual Podcast and Best TV Psychic Medium, against Tyler Henry and Chip Coffey.
Wow!
And then I'm going to be doing. Thanks. I'm surprised. I'm going to be doing Spirits in the Sky in Wisconsin, which is a fundraiser Paragon. Then I'm headed off to Copper Queen the rest of April, doing in Bisbee, Arizona, a real haunted place called the Copper Queen. Then I'm headed for Texas to do a Miracle. And that's just the next 2 months. I can give you the whole list, but you don't want to hear it.
I know.
Go to my website.
Exactly. Check out her website, and that is
PattiNegri.com. PattiNegri.com.
Perfect. Can't get any easier than that. That's great. Yeah, definitely check out what Patti's got going on. She's always somewhere. I follow her on social media, and I'm like, she's in Australia. She's on a cruise. I'm like, you were just in Australia not long ago, right?
I was just in Australia 2 weeks ago for a week. Oh my! And the Blue Mountains, so magical, facilitating a group, and it was great. And I got home just in time to unpack, do laundry, and leave for the cruise, the dark water cruise. And I got home not even in time to do laundry to leave for Dallas, Texas. I just hosted the Witches Ball in Dallas for the last 4 days and just got home.
Wow. Well, good on you. And I love your energy. You're awesome. And we really appreciate you again. And guys, if you want to follow any of my personal content or anything out there, I have a website as well. If you go to www.flaparanormalresearcher.com, so FLA like Florida paranormalresearcher.com, and I have links to all my social media and all my other stuff coming out. And make sure to check us out on the Haunted Files. Eric and I and Franny is on a few episodes as well on Paraflix. So you can get that if you use the code, the Haunted Files 25, you get 25% off your annual subscription. Make sure you check that out. Thank you guys for watching, and really appreciate it. And great job, Franny. You're killing it.
Yeah. Thank you, Mike.
No problem. Thank you.